From the Frontier Communications Studio, this is West Virginia Tonight. Live from the state capitol, the latest information from towns all across the state. Brought to you from an award-winning team, including your host, Dan Thorne. Now, West Virginia Tonight.
Breaking news tonight, incredible and horrifying. Rescues continue tonight after some of the worst flooding West Virginia has ever seen. These are images 1,500 feet above some of the most ravaged areas in Kanawha County. Good evening. I'm Dan Thorne. Deadly flooding hits the Mountain State and many towns and communities left underwater or in ruins. West Virginia Governor Earl Ray Tomblin has now declared a state of emergency in 44 of the state's 55 counties. The West Virginia Division of Homeland Security reports now that the death toll is at 20 people across the state tonight. Those hardest hit areas include Greenbrier, Nicholas, Fayette, Kanawha, and Webster counties. One of the most devastating spots is along the Elk River. Nikki Walters took a tour of some of the remote areas in the Elkview area. She has more from the flood zone. Nikki.
I'm here on Wills Creek, which is right near Jordan Creek, the site of one of the fatalities associated with these floods. Take a look right here at just how high the water got. I'm going to open this mailbox and let you look inside. Just take a look at all of that mud. That's how high the water was. The creek is all the way over there. And right now I'm joined by one of the residents who's seen everything and experienced everything. What's your name, ma'am?
Kimberly Isom.
All right, and so what did you see last night?
The water came up so fast you really couldn't tell what was going on. It covered my vehicles completely, got in our home, it destroyed everything.
And what's it like to live through that?
It's a nightmare. But as long as me and my family was okay, I'm happy.
And so where were you guys when this was going on?
Right in this trailer. That's where we live. It took all of our vehicles, it took everything. It meant anything.
And so what was going through your mind as you watched it all? Were you praying or what were you doing?
All you could do is sit there and pray that God would get us out of here. That's all we can do.
All right, thank you very much. There's a lot of families on up Jordan Creek that are dealing with the same thing right now. They've lost everything. Some of them came home to find that their home was no longer there. Some of them are also still stranded on the other side of the floodwater. They need medication. They need other things to help them get back on their feet. And they've actually been pleading with us throughout the day to try to help them get that help out there as they try to come to grips with losing everything. But in the face of all of this devastation, they are all so thankful to still be alive, knowing that things could have turned out much worse in what was a very, very dangerous situation. Live near Clendenin, I'm Nikki Walters for West Virginia Tonight.
Nikki, thank you for that report. Well, as we said before, 20 people are now confirmed dead from this historic flooding. Among the dead, 2 children, a 4-year-old in Jackson County and an 8-year-old in the Wheeling area. Tonight, the family of the Jackson County boy is suffering an unimaginable loss after their little boy was swept away by raging floodwaters. The body of 4-year-old Edward McMillian was found by rescue crews in Ravenswood this morning. Hillary Hall has been following this story and has the latest details.
Family members of 4-year-old Edward McMillian say that his loss is something that will be felt throughout the entire Ravenswood community.
He was just a playful, joyful, kind-hearted little feller. They called him Little Man.
Loved ones say the loss of Edward McMillian feels more like a nightmare than reality. After calling the search off last night due to safety concerns, emergency crews found the boy's body in the creek along Utah Road in Ravenswood. First responders say they didn't give up hope for the little boy, but they did know that his chances of surviving the raging floodwaters were slim.
As a first responder, we knew what we probably have. We still feel like we failed our job, what we're here to do. Over time, it'll get easier, but it's still there.
Right now, family members and friends are spending time with Edward's mom, dad, and 1-year-old little sister. They say the pain of losing Edward at such a young age is indescribable.
This has been horrific, a nightmare. I mean, there's no words can explain. It's just a terrible tragedy.
Family members say funeral arrangements for Edward have not been set up yet, but they will be accepting donations to help pay for those services. Reporting for West Virginia Tonight in Jackson County, I'm Hillary Hall.
All right, Hillary, thank you. Well, in Wheeling, another search for a child ends tragically. 8-year-old Emmanuel Williams was walking in the creek when he slid on a slippery surface, fell beneath the water, and was swept away. Firefighters and police officers with canines, divers, and kayakers searched frantically the Wheeling Creek. The boy's body was found underwater about 25 yards away from where he fell. Flooding conditions remain bad in Clendenin, where the town is literally cut off from surrounding areas after days of heavy rain. This is video of that area as the storms just started early yesterday morning, and they just continued throughout the day. And those deadly high waters left thousands of people without power, and several roads are impassable from this high water. Joining us tonight is Mark Curtis. He was on the ground there today. Mark, I was in the air. We were getting a look at it from the aerial point, looking out, seeing how far and wide the areas are being flooded out right now. But you're there on the ground, yeah. And what would you see? You know, there's that old saying that when you see it on TV, it doesn't look nearly as bad as when you're actually there in person looking at it, and it was stunning today. The image that sticks in my mind are those cars that are completely submerged, and there are about 15 of them. You can see some of them in the background of the video, just the rooftops or the antennas sticking out. And you hope that the people who were in those cars got out alive, but I mean there are 15, 20 submerged cars out there still, so who knows. But the water is going down, but certainly not fast enough. Do we have any numbers on how many are stranded, missing? You know, it's hard to guess. Clendenin's a town of 1,200 people. Rescuers and relatives I talked to today said it's probably in the hundreds. Look, this is the area right at the Interstate 79 exit where it meets up with Highway 119, one of the major highways in West Virginia. Sure. So this is a big area, and Spencer and Clendenin are both beyond that area. So in a town of 1,200 people, Clendenin say, we could be talking of hundreds of people still stranded. The fact that the power is out and people's cell phones have now died, it's hard to get an accurate accounting. And obviously those conditions, you know, you're hoping that they're improving. Yeah, you know, the best news of the day was there was no rain, heavy rain coming down. There's a sprinkle here, but you know, this is the area where that elderly gentleman was found dead last night. You hope that there are no other people trapped or dead in those waters and that everyone gets out okay. But the big thing is no more rain in the area will help a lot, help that water recede and open up the town again to travel. Mark Curtis, thanks for your work today. I appreciate it. Okay, well, next tonight, another hard-hit area. White Sulphur Springs in Greenbrier County is dealing with their own set of major problems. Sydney Shalafo has a look at the aftermath. Sydney.
Well, Dan, like Mark said, we see this kind of damage play out on the big screen all the time, but it really is quite a different story and really shocking when you're standing in the heart of it like I am here in White Sulphur Springs. Everywhere you look here, there are homes and cars that have been just completely destroyed by the storm. Trees have come down and giant slabs of pavement have been washed in to yards. We've also seen homes that have been picked up and washed just even a couple yards down from their original plot of land, but still absolutely destroyed. One resident we spoke with lost her home, but she's just thankful that all her parents and her family is going to be okay. Crews have been working tirelessly, of course, to clean up the mess, but residents have already been outside trying to haul away any sort of debris or damage that they can find in their yards. Reporting for West Virginia tonight in Greenbrier County, I'm Sydney Shalafo. All right, Sydney, thanks a lot. Well, we all know that the Greenbrier Classic is just around the corner, and it wasn't golf balls Bubba Watson was hitting yesterday. He posted this video to his Facebook page, and this right here is what the old white golf course looks like now. Water is over the 17th and 18th holes. Watson, who owns a home at the Greenbrier, also offered prayers for people in that surrounding area. In another post, he says that they're without power right now and that he's never seen this much rain. Water is also rising to very high levels in Charleston. West Virginia Tonight reporter Eric Halperin takes a look at the Kanawha River.
Dan, the water here on the Kanawha River in Charleston, very high right now. If you take a look at over my shoulder where that walkway normally is that you can walk down to from the boulevard, completely underwater, and the water here flowing at a very good pace. If we take a look down here into the river, that water moving very quickly, and if we pan over just a little bit more, that is what is usually Schoenbaum Stage at Haddad Riverfront Park, completely underwater. Now, emergency officials tell me that the level of the river will stay like this for at least the next couple of days, depending on what they do with the dams. Now, as that stage is completely underwater, the show still will go on tonight. The concert will take place on the boulevard, obviously not on the stage. But for now, reporting in Charleston for West Virginia Tonight, I'm Eric Halperin.
All right, Eric, thank you. Well, you can now drive on the Dunbar Toll Bridge and the Nitro St. Albans Bridge in Kanawha County. Several runway barges broke loose and then hit those bridges early this morning, as you can see there. Around 3 o'clock in the morning, they careened down the river, crashing into docks, boats, and even a stern wheeler. We talked to people in the area who watched from the banks as the scene unfolded.
Not really a crash, more like a boom.
I lived here my whole life. I've never seen nothing like this.
Both bridges were checked extensively earlier today, and they are back open tonight. Will there be any more rain? That seems to be the main question for many people suffering around the state tonight. Chief Meteorologist Spencer Atkins has been working very hard informing all of us about what's been going on. Has a first look at your forecast. Spencer.
Yeah, Dan, it was raining in Clendenin there, as you saw in Nikki's report just a moment ago. And there is a downpour right there, but you can see it is very, very small. So this may be an occasion, too, where if you know you have some family out there, you want to, maybe text them. I know we also heard that, some of the cell phones have died or whatnot, but if someone, you still have communication with them, you can text them, let them know. It's just a passing shower. There's a severe thunderstorm south of Petersburg, West Virginia, though. That's moving its way back across to the south and to the east. That's headed for Interstate 81 south of Winchester, Virginia. That's the strongest storm we have. There's the shower now, moving its way away from Clendenin on into Clay County. Again, so very hard hit. The Elk River swings down through here. That's where the problem was, one of the huge problems. And they had record numbers, never before seen numbers out here in this territory on the Elk River, which of course washes down into Charleston. So powerful that when the Kanawha started to fall, the elk literally kind of blocked it and it caused a backup, and the water came back up a little bit in Charleston. Obviously, it'll stay below the big flood stage in Charleston. Down in the southern counties here, we do have some rain again in the Pineville area, south on over toward Odd, and that's going to continue its way on over toward Alderson, where it has been raining, but that's then moving away. I'll be back to tell you a little bit more about our weekend weather, and we'll have some local forecast for you as well in just a bit.
All right, Spencer, thanks a lot. Well, the rain has stopped, but the water is not going anywhere. Incredible video. Jet skis, a boat, and a boat dock floating down the Elk River. And as we go to break tonight, here's a live look outside over Huntington, West Virginia. Stay tuned for your complete storm tracker forecast.